Plaintiff Ivorie Clare claims she did branding work for the defendant, and now she's rebranding the defendant as a deadbeat. She's suing for $955 in unpaid wages. Defendant, Raichelle Carter, admits she hired the plaintiff to plan and promote an event, but later canceled the event. She says she owes nothing.
Nothing but the truth?
Yes.
It's case number 10 on the docket, Clare versus Carter.
Welcome. We have here the plaintiff, Ms. Clare.
Hi.
And you are suing the defendant, Ms. Carter, for the amount of $955 for unpaid services.
Yes.
Okay, what is the story here?
So basically, I do like freelance consulting. So
Yes.
anywhere from like conducting photo shoots, films, tasting events, anything related to some form of branding. And she reached out to me to work for her as a booking manager, but I'm not really into managing people. I rather kind of manage my business and myself, which is why I freelance, which is why I do the freelance consulting.
Okay.
She has her own catering business. She's a chef. She needed like some form of like brochure for her catering company, a packet. And we agreed that I would be paid per week, $250 per week for my services, and commission based off of the events. I did not get my payment for that. I did everything that I said I would in my contract. I made the flyer. This was for one venue. This is a flyer for another venue. So I was proactively, working on what she asked of me, and that's what she agreed to, which was my contract. She initially offered me her contract to work for her, but I was pretty clear that I don't work for people, I work with people. I do have my contract here if you need to see it as well.
Yes, I can see that.
I don't know if you need to see all this other stuff as well.
Let me look at this. So you were hired to do branding for her.
Yes.
For your business as?
The business is called 123 Grub. It's a catering company, primarily online, and we deal with meal prep and services within the home. So we'll dispatch a chef, come cook for you, clean up, things like that, things of that nature. Help people gain weight, lose weight. My business has been open since 2015. On my own, and with the help of my business partner, we've amassed all these clients, and we've actually hired people as well. We've never come into any type of problem like this. What happened is, Ivorie Clare came to me as she was done dealing with her last client. She said, "Hey, Ray, I think it'd be cool to work together." Did not seek her out. "Cool, Ivorie, I know you're good at what you do." We've also worked together in the past in a recent venue, and she was the front of the house manager. I was the back of the house manager. She knows the type of person I am in business, and she knows my potential. So we entered into this contract. Ivorie was supposed to be paid 15% per completion of each event and $250 per Grub-related, 123 Grub event-related businesses. We have not had one event yet, sir.
Your Honor, my contract is not based on whether or not the event happens. It's based on the work that I'm doing that leads to the event. And also, the reason why the event didn't happen is because she couldn't afford her end of the food cost.
Not that I couldn't afford.
She was supposed to
Ivorie,
cover
you know
her
that.
end of the food cost, which is in the emails that I have here. She actually tried to change the date of the event, but didn't communicate that to me. The owners of the venue actually had to communicate that to me, and then it caused some sort of confusion, which led them to saying that they didn't want to do the event anymore. One, because she couldn't afford to do the food costs, and also because we're moving the date of the event. So I should not have to be penalized because she couldn't afford to fulfill her end of the deal.
What was the date that you agreed to hire her to start work?
Probably around the end of December.
That's a lie. It was the beginning of December, and I have the contract, and I have the emails to prove it.
You can't even agree on when you both started working together?
I don't know why it's here in black and white. It's in writing. It's in the email, and it's in the contract.
When is the date that you signed the contract?
I'm just asking the day that she started working for you.
We started planning this event around November 15th. I sent my first email pitching the event November 24th.
All right, so you're saying you contacted her in November.
Who contacted her in November? Not me. I contacted a venue on behalf of the event and the flyers and the proposals that I made in November.
When did you tell her you no longer wanted her working?
She never did. I left.
We never dispunged the contract because she's actively suing me.
In the complaint, it says that you had let her know
that I couldn't pay for the services.
When was that date?
She should stop working on things that she was working on pertaining to events.
She never told me that.
When was that
I'm not sure the exact date, sir, but it was
well,
when I lost my job.
Here.
Okay, stop right here. Stop.
When I lost my job around the last week of November, Within that week, Ivory was notified.
So within that week, you notified her that you can no longer pay her for whatever reason you gave. You lost your other job or you're down on money, whatever. But then you said, I don't want you working for me anymore
I don't want you
until I
working
can...
on anything that I have to pay you for, so stop working on these things until I can pay you.
Lying.
And then
Okay.
we will move forward. How am I lying?
It's
Look at the text
right
messages.
here.
No,
It's right here.
What I find amazing...
And she got a severance package from her job that she
What does
lost.
that have to do with you?
So she still had
What does
money.
that have to do
and
with
then
you?
in January,
her
she said she did her
situation doesn't...
taxes.
Her situation is irrelevant to this. She doesn't need cause to say, I don't want to pay you anymore. Now, I know in the contract you say the partnership, well, it's not really a partnership.
It was a partnership because she offered me her contract to work for her as an employee, and I let her know that I do freelance.
Okay.
I have my own contract. Take
Okay.
it or leave it. So she took it.
The term of it shall commence on and continue until dissolved by mutual agreement of the partners. In other words, you may decide, I don't ever want to stop getting $250 a week, so I'm never going to agree to end this. It could go on 50 years. So that, on its face, can never be in a contract. That's why I asked whether you wrote this up. If you've got a lawyer that did that, I'd like to know, because I would love to have a contract where NBC is never, ever, ever allowed to get rid of me. Until I agree. So that can't be, because I'm not ruling against you at this point. I'm asking, what is the date that it stopped?
I don't have the concrete date.
How
It's
can you
in
come
text
to court
messages.
and
It
tell
is
me, ask
definitely
me
the last week of November when I lost my job.
She contacted you sometime in the first week or two of December. That's when it stopped.
That's
So
when
you
what
are
stopped.
entitled to money up until that time, and I'm ruling you're not entitled to money after that time, because she said, stop doing work for me. I
She
can't
never told me
afford
to
to
stop
pay
doing
you.
work for her. I chose, and
What
I
did she
said,
tell you?
I said she's been asking me to do events, and I have text messages.
I have not been
She
asking you to do
asked me.
events.
She
I asked you-
actually hit me up. I did another event on my own. She reposted it. Then she sent me a text after I invited her to the event, saying, "How many of these events can we do similar to the one that I was doing, so that way she can make money to pay me back?"
Okay.
I had already told her
Okay.
prior to, when she asked me to continue any
Okay.
business,
Okay.
that I did not want to do
Okay.
anything until the balance is paid in full, and I said it very clearly in that email. I didn't want to do that because
All right.
I
So
didn't want her to feel like she was
interested.
being
She
ripped off.
admires your work, and she is apparently interested in perhaps working with you in the future for the kind of events you were doing for other people. I get that.
And I'm only charging her
But-
for 4 weeks. We were working on
You
it
were-
since November.
Your Honor, can I please
I'm
say
only
something?
charging
Yes,
her
okay,
for
now
4
let
weeks.
her talk. I saw that, but I want to know if
The
those
4
weeks came
weeks of
after
work-
she said stop. Go
The
ahead.
She
4
never
weeks
said
of
stop.
work were constructed off of one template, off of one event that, one, never happened. I pushed the event back because of, like we all know, I fell on hard times.
But wait a second here. You said something which is interesting. You said you were willing to pay her for all the work she was doing
Which she got paid for.
for that event
Which she got paid for.
at the $250 a week.
$250 for the first event, kits, promotional kits and things, and the next event was when I lost my job. When did I pay her this? January 20th? This was 2 weeks after I lost my job, and still commenced to give her some type of compensation because I'm not trying to duck her. I'm not trying to not pay her.
She was still working during that time,
I was
Jerry.
not. No, I was
she
not.
got,
But that
she got
doesn't
fired.
matter.
She got fired after
Whoa,
she gave me
whoa.
that $250.
It doesn't
on,
matter.
And that was an a la
Come
carte.
on,
That was
Ivory.
before we signed the
Come on,
contract,
Ivory.
and that was for
Come on,
something
Ivory.
else. That
You're
was
not
not for the
listening
event.
to me.
That was not for the event.
Stop. She doesn't have to have a reason.
What you mean?
Hold on.
What you mean
She
don't
doesn't
a
have
reason?
to have a reason to be in business with you.
She doesn't.
She may just decide,
And I don't have to have
like
any
her
business with
anymore, I
her
don't want to do
either.
it. She does
But
have
if
an
you agree to
obligation.
pay me my
You're
money-
interrupting me.
Okay.
She does have an obligation to pay you
Right.
for work that she wanted you to do. She
Right.
doesn't have an obligation to give you a reason for why she wants to stop.
But she
so
still owed my money.
therefore, I am trying to get a date when her work for your event, which as it turned out didn't happen,
At
didn't
all.
come to pass.
So as per contract,
but if she was
Your Honor,
doing, when did you say
your hand down.
she should
Thank you.
stop?
I told her, like I said, the last week of November when I lost my job.
So you said there won't be an
There
event.
won't be, this event won't happen until maybe May, whereas it was supposed to happen in February. The other events, the other 3 events that she's trying to get me to pay for,
Yeah.
were brainstormed. They were never concrete events.
So you said you can't pay her anymore, she should stop.
I told her, do not create any other press kits for me.
Since neither of you are giving
I have
me...
the text messages.
I'll take a look.
Yeah.
And what do these profess to say?
I specifically told her I didn't want to do any more work with her until the balance was paid off because I didn't want her to feel like she was being ripped off. Considering I've been doing this for some time, I know where this can go. So I'm going to stop now before this bill adds up and then there's more drama. So when she gets her finances in order, we can resume business. I'm happy to
And
still
then
do
you
business.
sue me.
But you still owe me my money.
How does that work?
She asked me to extend the plan. I did installment plans. I have that in email. She
Installment
specifically
plans that
asked for
have
an
no date.
installment plan.
All
I
right.
extended it. She still didn't pay. She only gave me $60. Not even to say, let me give you $20 this week. Let me give you $20 next week. You haven't given me anything, sis.
Okay.
So now I want all my money, and that's it.
Since we can't get an agreement on the exact date in December when you were to stop working for her, what I'm going to do is in the month of December. The first 2 weeks you should get paid for. The last 2 weeks...
I did 4
$300
weeks. I did 4 weeks of work.
Judgment for the
Please,
plaintiff...
The evidence is there. It's 4
Judgment
weeks.
for the plaintiff at
4 weeks.
$500. Remove her from the court.
Absolutely crazy. Go buy yourself a new wig.
We came to an agreement, a service was rendered, and she just was not trying to pay me my money because she just feels like the event didn't happen, but the event didn't happen because of me, it didn't happen because of her.
He's an opportunist, and people like that don't make it far in life.
Hey YouTube, check out my new show, Judge Jerry. Now for sneak preview and behind the scenes footage, subscribe to my channel now.